This is going to be really hard. Worst of shires. Worst. This actually isn't going to be hard at all.
That's what she said!
I'm actually just going to be talking about my first year on YouTube, how I'm feeling about things, and the results of my 6-month update. And yes, I know I released my 6-month update 4 months ago. That's because my 6-month update was 2 months late. So this is actually my 1 year on YouTube because I began in early August of 2021. So let's go ahead and talk about this last year and the results of what I started doing when I released my 6/8-month video. First of all, in that video, I talked about niching down. When I first started this channel, I was creating 3 videos a week and I covered a wide range of topics. I talked about Dungeons and Dragons, I talked about my own personal stories, I released videos about religion and sobriety and diet and all sorts of random crap. I mean, it was all over the place. Scratch all of that. That was a lot. I knew that the YouTube algorithm really rewards people who find their niche and stick to it. If you do that, you're bound to find success here on the platform. Anybody can do that. For me, I didn't want to create content that I wasn't going to enjoy, and I didn't want to dedicate the channel to something that was then going to inevitably change. So what I did instead was I dedicated it to pretty much whatever the heck I felt like making. Now there was some structure to it. I talked largely about stories, but that could really encompass anything. By the end of that, and once I reached the 6-month period, I think I had about 40 subscribers. I had 40 subscribers. And so that alone should tell you what really happens to a channel when it doesn't have a niche and when it is all over the place. You're going to get some subscribers, yeah, but then they're probably going to unsubscribe or they're not going to click on every video that you post, which is just going to continue to bury you underneath all the videos that people are actually clicking on. 3 months after I niched it down and started focusing just on stories, I skyrocketed about 300% to 170 subscribers. And now at the time of me filming this, I have 250 subscribers. Now there are a number of things that I can attribute this to. I had a couple of videos that did really well. My Discworld videos have done well. And most recently, my video about the Chosen One trope did really well. And so those of you who are here from those videos, I greatly appreciate you. Additionally, I got a shout out from one of my favorite creators on here, Cam Wolf at Wolf the Story Nomad. And he shouted out my channel completely unexpectedly. And I got a pretty decent bump from that too. So I am very grateful for that. And if you came here from Cam's channel, I welcome you as well. So I've grown significantly since I did this over the last 4 months, and I imagine I will sustain that growth at least to some degree as I continue to remain focused on this particular niche. Now the thing is, my niche is still pretty broad because I don't want to specifically be a booktuber. Yes, I want to talk about books and do book reviews and do read-alongs and cool things like that, but I don't want to do the things that you would typically see on a booktube channel like hauls and unhauls and TBRs and things of that nature. So my niche is still a little bit broad, and I'm not really sure how I would define myself other than just somebody who wants to talk about stories and wants to talk about stories with other people. Not just talking about a specific story, but talking about what makes stories great or what makes them terrible. So I have niched down significantly and it has helped me out a lot, but I'm still trying to find my corner. Now, let's do something else that's going to be pretty hard. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Let's do something else instead. Instead, let's just go ahead and give a couple of shout outs to some channels I've had the opportunity to interact with over the last year. And there are 2 specifically that I want to mention. First, and I already mentioned him, but I'm gonna mention him again, is Cam Wolf over at Wolf the Story Nomad, or Cam Wolf is Writing. Cam Wolf has been one of my biggest inspirations in starting this channel and in getting going and in making my content as engaging as I can. Even though I'm definitely not up to the standard that his videos are, I really appreciate the kind of content that he puts out, and I always click on one of his videos. He and Captured in Words are actually my 2 biggest inspirations and are the 2 people who inspire me to start creating on this channel. Yes, there are other creators on here that I really liked, but the passion that those 2 people have for the content they make is what inspired me to say,
I'm that passionate about this stuff. Maybe I could make stuff too.
I love the work that both of those channels do. If you haven't heard of them, I recommend going and check them out, but how would you have not heard of them if you've heard of me? That seems weird. Anyway, go watch their stuff. They are 1,000 times better than I am. I've also had the opportunity to occasionally interact with Bryce over on Shelf Centered, and he is a fantastic person. He's very sweet and very kind. If you are looking for a booktube channel, I would definitely recommend going and checking out his stuff. He releases really good content. I think he just hit 1,000 subscribers, so kudos to Bryce. And then the last group of people that I really want to thank is everyone I've had the opportunity to engage with on my own channel. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because I wanted to talk about stories with people, and I wanted to have debates and discussions about stories with them. And I have had that opportunity given to me on a number of different occasions. Anytime that a video of mine has done at least somewhat well, I've had the chance to talk with people about whatever that topic happens to be. Who'd have thought? That's what the comment section is for. And for the most part, those comments have been really helpful and engaging and interesting to read through. Especially on my most recent video about the Chosen One trope, I really got to engage with people about the trope, what makes it good and what makes it bad, how it could be improved, and all of those things. And that is exactly what I wanted when I first started creating here. I wanted to have an audience and I wanted to have a base that would engage with me on these kinds of topics. So if you are somebody who wants to talk about stories and all things related to stories, then hopefully this is the place for you and you found your new home. So awesome, cool.
Hey, what's up? Hi.
Thank you for being here. I am glad that you have chosen to engage with me here on this channel. The one that I did about the Chosen One is probably the one where I've received the most engagement, but I also received a lot of engagement on my Don't Read Discworld video and on my Lightbringer predictions video. These are all things that I really wanted to talk with people about, and I've had the chance to talk with people about them, and I am immensely grateful for that. So to anybody who has left a comment on any of my previous videos, I really appreciate it, and you are the reason why I continue to make this stuff. So let's look forward. What am I gonna do from here? Well, first of all, I think I need to rip off the band-aid and say, I don't think I'm ever going to go back to creating 3 videos a week, at least not while I also have a full-time job, because that was a lot of work, and cutting down to 1 video a week 4 months ago has really helped me out in a number of ways. I've been able to go and do things more frequently, I can focus on my other projects, and I can make sure that I'm putting out the best quality video that I can instead of being on a time crunch and having to release something even when it's not quite finished. So I'm going to be sticking with 1 video per week. Maybe that will change in the future if I switch to a part-time position or just don't have the job that I have right now at all. I'm not entirely certain what the future is going to hold in that regard, but for the foreseeable future, I'm just going to be doing 1 video each week. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be releasing some other content here and there. For one, I'm actually thinking that I might start doing shorts on occasion. I used to do comedy skits and stuff like that with my friends all the time. I have plenty of ideas for those things. I just don't really have the space and the tools that I would need to do the stuff I want to for those. So in the future, I'll probably be doing some shorts that are related to stories or books that I've read. I have some that I want to do for The Faithful and the Fallen, for example, that I just haven't had the opportunity to put together. And YouTube Shorts are a really good chance to do that and grow an audience without really having to worry about whether or not the video is going to do super well or is going to fail. So I would love to do some comedic shorts or even just some, I don't know, fact-spitting shorts or something like that. But it's probably going to be a few months before I'm actually able to start putting that together. So I hope that you will look forward to that and look out for those when they come, hopefully in the next few months, but we're going to have to see. Another thing that I'm very excited about moving forward is creating more Discworld content. The videos that have done the best on my channel, other than the most recent Chosen One trope video, have been my Discworld videos. My Discworld videos have all done really well, which is fantastic for me because Terry Pratchett is my favorite author and Discworld is my favorite series of books ever. So the opportunity to talk more about Discworld is pretty exciting for me, and I look forward to doing that. So you can expect more Discworld content on the channel in the near future. In fact, in a couple of weeks, I have a really big Discworld related announcement that I'm going to be doing here, so keep an eye out for that. And if you are here from any of my Discworld videos and have been waiting for more Discworld content, don't worry, it is coming.
Finally!
The last thing I want to talk about is goals. What are my goals for this YouTube channel now that I've hit my 1-year mark? Do I have a specific milestone that I'm really looking to hit? What do I want out of this experience now that I've been in it for a year and kind of know what I'm getting myself into? Truthfully, I don't really have any sort of monetary or milestone goals necessarily, because that has never really been the goal. The goal has really just been to facilitate a discussion on topics that interest me. And I've kind of done that with several of my videos, so I guess my goal would really just to be continuing to do that and continuing to engage with other people on these topics that I want to discuss, and to build a community that is sizable enough that those discussions can become more consistent and I can start to recognize some of the faces that are popping up in those comment sections. So I don't really have a specific number in mind. It's really less about the numbers and more just about the kind of people who are approaching and who want to talk about these things. So hopefully a healthy community begins to develop around some of these ideas that I have been putting out there. On top of that though, I really want to start focusing more on the quality of the videos that I'm putting out. I know that I can do better than what I have been. I've just been very pressed for time. So I'd like to be able to take even just an extra hour or 2 hours with every video to add a couple of more jokes in here or there, or a couple of different camera angles, or maybe some different scenes. I really want to put more effort into the content that I'm making and make it more artistic than what I have been doing lately. Because all of this talking head stuff, it can be kind of fun for a little while, but if you watch just a playlist of this, it's not as engaging as I would like for it to be. I would like to create videos that are more engaging and that have better examples and that showcase what I know that I'm able to do with video editing software and with this camera. So hopefully you will start seeing some better quality videos in the near future, but that's really going to depend on a number of things. For one, I can't really do that where I am right now. This is the only place where I can really shoot apart from my office, which if you've seen any of the videos that I shoot in my office, it's not quite as nice as this backdrop. So yeah, I'm not really keen on doing that, but I'd love to start taking the camera out and going places and doing really interesting things. I recently bought a mount for my camera that can go inside of my car. I even had a shot using that mount in my video about my July experiences. So hopefully I'm going to start having some more interesting angles present for you to enjoy besides just this, because I know this is, it can get a little old. So those are my two goals. I want to continue to create a healthy community that can discuss all of these topics with me and with each other, and I would really like to add more quality and more angles and more interesting stuff to the videos that I'm putting out there, because right now I'm just not really satisfied with this. I'm not really going to do a huge wrap up here. I just want to say that I really appreciate everybody who has liked and commented and subscribed on any of my videos. Whether you are somebody who engages in discussion regularly or you are somebody who tends to lurk and just is a silent viewer, I really appreciate you, and you absolutely help me as I continue to grow on this platform. So thank you so much for everything that you have done, whether you have shared a video or whether you have just been silently here as one of the first 40 people who, for some reason, I guess, stuck around, which is wild to me that you stuck through the era when all of my videos were just this horrible orange glare. I appreciate you. So thanks very much. And yeah, that's all I've got. I guess if you want to see another video from me, you can do so by clicking up here. And until next time, bye.